Good morning, this is Ajahn John, and today I am talking with one of my students who is studying to be a flight attendant. So we are going to practice some typical conversations a flight attendant may have with a passenger, and also talk about the kind of problems a flight attendant may have to deal with during the course of her work. So let me ask my student a question. Have you ever flown before? Flown, F-L-O-W-N.
Yes, I had been flown to Korea and Singapore. For Korea, I went there for 3 years ago, and the trip took around 1.5 months. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just make some corrections. Not I have been flown, but I flew. I flew to Korea 3 years ago, Korea and Singapore. And my student said the trip was for... Right, she should have said the flight took around maybe 4 or 5 hours. And my trip lasted 1.5 months. My trip means the time I spent in the foreign country. So let me ask her now whether she enjoyed flying. My student is a bit confused about the tense we use with the word flew. So I'm going to give 3 examples. Today I am going to fly to Singapore. Yesterday I flew to Singapore, and I have flown to Singapore before. Those are the 3 tenses in which you can use the word fly.
I think flying is not. I think flying is not fun, but I'm excited because I think about the destination that I will go to.
Just listening to my students' grammar mistakes, I remarked that yesterday when we studied, she had excellent grammar, but today, feeling some pressure because I'm recording this, her grammar has gone to pieces. But this is quite understandable because we all get nervous when we are in an examination situation. So my students said that flying really is not much fun, and I think many people feel exactly the same way. Sometimes international flights can be 15 hours or longer, and people see these journeys as painful and boring. So how can the flight attendant make the flights more interesting and fun for the passenger?
To be more fun, I think the airline should provide more functions on the small TV. For example, maybe the airline should provide more choice of movie and the music. Also, maybe put some game applications on that TV.
So my students said that airlines should and do mostly at the moment provide a range of video and audio entertainment. Usually in every seat there is a small video screen and headphones which can be used to watch a selection of movies and listen to a variety of types of music. This can be entertaining to the passengers, or other passengers may prefer to sleep. There are For those passengers who want to sleep, the airline may provide some kind of eye mask which you can put over your eyes to block out any light, and also it may have a cooling eye gel which kind of sticks to your face and makes your eyes feel cool and relaxed. Furthermore, there are food and drinks served to passengers during most flights, maybe not very short haul flights, short haul, always on long haul flights. Alcohol can be served on most flights, and this may either be free or the passengers may have to pay for it. So now I'm going to do a conversation with my student. I'm going to be the passenger and I'm going to ask for a drink from my flight attendant.
Can I get you anything to drink, sir?
Do you have Scotch whiskey?
Yes, sure, sir. I will take it.
Bring it.
I will bring it to you. Do you want it straight or want some ice or Pepsi or beer? ไม่ใช่ Pepsi or soda.
Tonic. Yeah, soda, yeah. Okay. So that should be something like, would you like ice with that drink, sir? And in addition, would you like it straight, which means the whiskey by itself, or do you want something with it, such as tonic or Pepsi? And I will reply, I would like it on the rocks, please. On the rocks. So that means straight whiskey, but with ice, yeah. Let's now talk about whether it is advisable to drink alcohol on a flight. So I'm going to ask my student, the flight attendant, again. Do you think it's a good idea for a passenger to drink alcohol on an aeroplane?
No, I don't think I should I don't think I should advise the passenger to drink alcohol because they may, if they're drunk, they may have a bad habit and disturb people around there.
Good, that's very good. So my student is saying I wouldn't advise people to drink too much because if they get drunk, their behavior may become difficult or rude, R-U-D-E, and they may disturb other people. In addition, there is a medical problem on long distance flights of dehydration. When you spend a long time on an airplane, your body loses water, and you should compensate for this by drinking lots of liquids, but better to drink water and fruit juice rather than alcohol. You will find that when you get off the flight, you will feel much better and recover from the effects of the flight much more quickly if you drink a lot of water and fruit juice. Let me talk about other kinds of medical problems associated with flying, in particular deep vein thrombosis, T-H-R-O-M-B-O-S-I-S. This is a blood clotting which can happen through lack of movement. It's quite rare, of course, but nevertheless there are things you can do on a long haul flight to reduce the risk. Mostly you have to try to move around. You may find that on the airplane they have a chart with recommended exercises you can do while sitting, such as raising your legs and turning your feet around. But it is also a good idea to try to get up occasionally and take a walk to the bathroom maybe, or just take a walk to the back of the plane, stand for a few moments and then go back to your seat. Of course, there will be a problem if too many people are walking at the same time, but I'm sure the flight attendants in this situation can advise some people to sit down. So when the flight attendants are serving food, for example, there may be a problem in the aisle, A-I-S-L-E, and then the flight attendant may have to ask a passenger politely, could you please take a seat? But in my experience, I don't think this is usually a problem, because most people remain in their seats for the bulk of the flight. B-U-L-K. Let's now talk about the situation where a passenger may be sick. So I'm going to press the button next to my seat to call the flight attendant. She's going to come to me and I'm going to tell her I'm feeling a bit unwell. Unwell, U-N-W-E-L-L. 2, 3.
I'm going to ask my passenger, may I help you, sir?
Yes, thank you. I'm not feeling very well.
Do you want me to take your medicines or water?
She should have said, do you want me to bring you some medicine or some water? Actually on all airplanes they will have an emergency medical kit where they will obviously have things like paracetamol and a whole range of other equipment. But in most cases when a passenger is feeling unwell, it's going to be something very minor. Stomach ache, headache, nausea, N-A-U-S-E-A, something like that. So I think in most cases the flight attendant will be able to bring the passenger some paracetamol or a glass of water, and that will be sufficient. But if it looks like something more serious, then she will have to speak to one of her seniors, the purser for example, and get more advice. In a real emergency, then they may ask if there is a doctor on the plane, and in very serious cases they may even have to speak with a pilot who may have to land the plane before the destination. So let me ask my student, can you think of any other kinds of emergency medical situations?
I think pregnant woman who going to deliver her baby.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
But I think there should be some process that asks those kind of passenger before they get on the plane. Okay.
So my student said that there may sometimes be a case of a pregnant woman, but this is unlikely to happen because usually before every passenger gets on a plane they will be asked if they have any medical conditions or something which may affect their health. And of course a woman who's 9 months pregnant is going to be quite obvious to the eye. So the flight attendant seeing a very large woman coming into the plane may ask her some questions. But there are cases of early delivery. A woman may only be 7 or 8 months pregnant and she may have an early delivery, in which case the flight attendant will have to deal with the situation. So I think with any kind of medical problem or emergency, the flight attendant would have to speak to the purser, and then this senior person would make some decision.